Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. So today, as promised, I'm here with some answers to the frequently asked questions on my social media, especially on Instagram and Facebook. I try to answer them most of the times, but I thought I'll make a video on it. So if there are any new subscribers or any new followers, they would know, they can check it here and that would answer their questions too. And let me begin by saying that it's not that I know everything about Mexico. It's just been 9.5 years here in Mexico, but I try to share my experience and my thoughts with you because I know when you are coming to a new country, we have a lot of questions, and it's always good if someone answers some of those questions, right? So I will try my best to give you some, information about the questions that you have, and I hope this would be useful. Also, I would like to thank everyone who took time and participated in the community poll and voted for a video instead of a live video. So let's begin. I have my questions here on my phone so I don't forget them. So the first and foremost question I usually get is Mexico safe? This is the first question I get from everyone. Well, Mexico is absolutely safe. Just like any other country, there are some places which are not safe, or there are certain crimes which happens even in this country, just like in other countries. You just have to be careful. You just have to know where you're going before coming to any place or any state. Just find out the safe locations and just try to be with local, friends, Mexican friends. Don't try to explore a place without any Mexican friend of yours. Just try to be safe. That's it. Otherwise, there's no problem. We have been living here for the last 9.5 years, and we haven't faced any problem. Touch wood. We haven't faced any problem, and that's because we have always been careful. When we go out, we always go with friends. We don't try to explore new places without anyone, and we know which is safe, and we try not to drive at nights. We try, usually if we are going on a long drive, we go in the mornings. We don't drive at night. So these are small things which you need to keep in mind when you go to any country, because there are places which are not safe, so it's better to avoid them, and it's better not to go out at at night. Be aware of the place. That's the only advice that I can give you. The next most common question is about the accommodation. How to find a rented house here in Mexico? Well, I have answered this before in one of the videos, but let me repeat it. Here, there are two ways to find a house. First, you can just go around the locality where you want to, or you can also approach a realtor. Okay, so first thing what I would advise you is, when you are coming to a state, in case you're coming to Queretaro or in case you're going to Mexico City, find out where your office is. If you don't have kids and you're a person who's going to office, find out the locality where your office is. Try to find a house near to your office area, because that would, help you to go to office fast. You don't have to go through the traffic, especially in Mexico City. There's a lot of traffic, so it's better you look for a house which is closer to your work area or the office. And it's better that you go through a friend or a colleague, because obviously you need to speak Spanish with the house owner. So go around with him, and you can just take a car or go around in that area, and usually the houses will have the board saying renta, and they also leave the number there. Sometimes the number is of the realtor, or sometimes it's the direct owner that leaves the number. So you can just check with that person. You can call them and check, and you can make an appointment, and you can go see the house. So in that case, yes, you will need a Mexican friend who speaks Spanish, because obviously not everyone here speaks Spanish. So maybe if the house owner is not speaking Spanish, it would be difficult for you. Or you can just check with your colleagues, because most of them here have a side business. They have these real estate side business, and they do that. So you can just check with them, and they will tell you what all papers you need to get a rent. Basically, the papers that you would need to rent a house would be your passport, your FM3, and a letter from your office that you're working in that company, and things like that, which they might ask you to bring for the rent. Okay, so that's how you find a rented house here in Mexico. And there was another question about furnished house. Well, I would say it's not very common to find furnished house here, but yes, there are furnished houses too. But as I said before, you have to find out in which locality you want to rent a house. For example, in all the popular places here, in for example Mexico City, Guadalajara, Queretaro, all these places, there are WhatsApp groups, there are Facebook groups. So first I would say look into the Facebook groups that you're going. For example, if you're coming to Queretaro, there is a group called Queretaro Indians, I think. And for Guadalajara, there is another group, a Facebook group. So you can just be a member, become a member into that group, and check if the place where you're going to work, if that is close to your off, I mean, if you can find a house there. Or if you're looking for, there was a question asking if there were PG accommodations here in Mexico. Well, there are no PG accommodations as much as popular as they are in India, but you can share rooms. For example, if there are bachelors, they usually share rooms, 3 or 4 people. They share a big house, they share the rent. So you can share houses like that. So that's why I said first find out where your office is, and then find the locality close to the office, and then you can post questions. If you want to find the house before coming here, then post a question in the Facebook group, and they will help you out. People in that area will help you out, and then you can find a house. Or you can come here, stay in a hotel in a couple of days, check out that area for yourself. If you like it, then go ahead and rent a house. The next question is about food, and especially from vegetarians who want to know if they would get enough veggies here like in India, and if there are vegetarian options. Well, let me burst the bubble. The vegetarian options in restaurants are very less. I have mentioned this also before. Because I think here many Mexicans are meat lovers, so most of the restaurants have meat options more. But I must say, for the past 4 5 years, I have seen a change in the menu card in the restaurants. I see more vegetarian options. I see more vegan options. So yes, there are there now, but it depends on a restaurant where you're going. If it's a good restaurant, yes, they will have vegetarian options. But if you're going to a small one, a local restaurant, then the options are less. You will have, like for example, with beans or tortillas, but don't expect vegetarian options like we get in India. You don't get so many options here, but you'll have to adjust. But vegetables, yes, you get very good quality, very fresh vegetables here. So if you are a good cook, there shouldn't be any problem. You can easily cook vegetarian food at home. The next question is about the second-hand car and the good condition and how much it would be. Well, the second-hand cars are very popular here. Many of the Indians who come here, they first go for a second-hand car, because you don't know how long you're going to stay here in Mexico. So if it's just for 2 3 years, yes, they usually opt for a second-hand car. And the way that you can purchase a second-hand car is either through an agency. There are many used car stores here, just like new car stores. There are used car stores also here. So you can just go and look for the car that you want, and they will tell you what all papers you need to get, and you can buy like that. That is one option. And the second option is you can just see people driving around, and you would see they have written the number of their cell phone number on the car, which means that that car is for sale. So if you like the car from the outer look, you can just call that number, make an appointment, go check the car for yourself, and then decide on the price. But I would advise that if you are going to buy a used car from a person, or not from a showroom, then please take a mechanic with you. Because if you don't have knowledge about cars, take a mechanic with you to check out the condition and things like that, and then you can go ahead and buy. And the prices, of course, it would vary from car to car. If it's a small car, if it's a basic car, it would be around 45,000 pesos, Mexican pesos, and it could go up to 1.5 or 2. It depends on the condition of the car or the style of the car. It all depends on that. The next question is prices of electronic items and home appliances like mixer, iron, etc. Well, I think personally, if you ask me, it's not that expensive, especially televisions. I feel the prices are reasonable here than in India. And regarding the mixie, well, we don't get the Indian kind of mixies here in the stores. You will find blenders, which is, you can use it to grind onions, tomatoes, and things like that. But if you're looking for something to grind idli, dosas, Then there is an option on Amazon Mexico site where you can buy an Indian mixie. I think it's Preeti brand. You would get an option to buy that, and it's around 4,000 or 4,500 pesos. So you can do that, or you can get it from India. But if you are bringing it from India, then you have to check the plug point in your kitchen. Probably the watts are different, so you will have to keep a converter for that. The next question is about engineering jobs in Mexico and salary average. Well, I am really not aware of this. I cannot give you a precise answer to this. But what I've seen here is the options more are for IT jobs, for teaching profession, and also for automotive industry. That's more popular because when I meet people, the people are usually from this three industries. So I've seen that these three industries are more popular here in Mexico, but I'm sure the other industries must also be booming here. But I don't know how whether they are giving opportunities for people from India. You can just check in Google if there are any engineering jobs here in Mexico, and maybe it would click for you. And the salary, of course, depends on your designation and depends on the company. So I cannot really tell you how much would be the salary, right? So I really don't know about the salary, but they all pay a very decent salary. That much I know because that's why we are all living here. Most of the companies are paying good, decent salary. The next question is about the house rent approximately. Well, I can only give you an approximate rate because it all depends on the area that you are looking for. I can talk about Queretaro. For example, in Queretaro itself, the prices range from 7,000 pesos to 18,000 or 20,000 pesos, depending on the area, depending on the size of the house. So it all depends on the locality that you're looking for. If you want a small house with one bedroom in a normal small locality, then that would be like 7 to 10,000 pesos. But if you're looking for a very good posh area and a big house, then it would range from 15 to 20K. So it depends on your choice of the house. The next question is if Mexican language is compulsory in school, and of course, another question is about the education here in Mexico. Well, Mexican language, I think you're talking about Spanish. Is Spanish compulsory? Yes, in most of the schools, 90% of the schools, Spanish is compulsory, and 90% of the schools are bilingual schools here, which means they have English and Spanish. Well, there are some completely international schools where, yes, it's only English, but those schools are super expensive. But other schools, even if they are, if they say international or even if they are very popular, they usually have bilingual, which is English and Spanish. Half of the subjects are in English, half of the subjects are in Spanish, or sometimes 80% of the subjects are in Spanish and remaining 20% are in English. But one good thing about schools here is they adapt foreign kids very well. They give you, like, for 1 year, they really train the new kids with the language. They help the kids with the language, and the kids learn language very fast. And within 1 year, they pick up the language, and it becomes very easy for them. We as parents, we are really worried, and we think that maybe our kids can't study the new language, maybe they can't do well in the school. But no, I have seen many Indians coming here with that fear, but later in 6 months you see the kid is talking in Spanish and parents are surprised that the kid picked up the language so fast. So that's how it is. They pick up very fast and they get adapted to the new school, the new kids, and they really enjoy studying here because obviously the stress level is less compared to India. So kids will get adapted very well. And regarding the education, if you're asking about the curriculum, then here most of the schools follow the local curriculum. It's called SAPE, SEP, and they follow that. The next question is how are the chances to find a job with A2 or B1 level of Spanish? I think this is someone who already knows Spanish, so that's why he's talking about A2 and B1 level. Well, you can find a job if you are able to express yourself. That's what I feel, because here most of the Mexicans are very patient. They encourage you if you can at least speak or try to speak the language. So I think it shouldn't be a problem. And if you're looking for a company where you can communicate with US clients, then that should definitely not be a problem. But otherwise also I feel that here in most of the companies, if you can speak basic Spanish, they welcome you with open arms, and they don't really put you down for that. But of course, if your job is to completely speak in Spanish, then maybe it would be a little difficult for you initially, but you will pick it up, because I've seen people coming here with little knowledge of Spanish, but later they pick it up so fast, because in the company they are all the time talking and listening to people speaking in Spanish, so it becomes easy for them to pick up the language. So I think it shouldn't be a problem. Another common question is, how long have you been living here in Mexico? It's been 9.5 years, and this August it's going to be 10 years. This is another common question, asking average monthly expenses in Mexico, including rent. Again, this is something which I cannot give a proper answer, because it all depends on the number of members in your family, how lavishly you're going to live, and other things. For example, for me, the expense is definitely high because I have two kids. My kids are teenagers, so the expenditure is completely different. So if I tell you an amount, it might be like too much for you, uh, because you are maybe just two in the family, or you just have one kid who's a small kid, so obviously the expenses are less. But I can give you an average. For example, the house rent, as I said, it ranges from 7,000 to 20,000 pesos, depending on the area. And the monthly expenses, I would say, you would at least spend 1,000 every week in the supermarket, including vegetables, fruits, milk, other things. So probably every month your grocery bill would be around 4,000. I mean, at least let's keep 5,000. 5,000 for sure. And what else? For example, the water bill for us comes around 450, 500. As I said, here the area where we are living, the water expense is little high. I don't know about other areas. And the current bill is around 350 pesos for us. And the gas, I spend around 500 pesos every month. So this can vary to you. It could be different for you, but that would be the average expenses, minimum average expenses of all the things. So I hope this helps. The next question is it hard to get immigration? Well, if you're asking about how to come to Mexico, if that is your question, then yes, you have to have a job here to get to come here to Mexico. Or of course, you can come here on tourist visa for traveling. But otherwise, I don't know if there is any other means through which you could come to Mexico. You definitely need a job, or you can just come as a tourist here. So I think these are the two options that you could opt for to come to Mexico. But now, yes, the opportunities are more. The next question is about that, about IT sector. Well, yes, as I said, now the opportunities are growing here in Mexico. There are many more companies who are investing here in Mexico. And also now that the visa for US has become a little more strict, it's difficult to get a US visa. Many companies are opting for their employees to come to Mexico, so that the working hours match and they could work from here in Mexico. So many companies from US, they try to bring their employees here to Mexico, and I think that's why the Indian population is growing here in Mexico, in many other cities apart from Queretaro. So yes, IT sector is definitely booming here in Mexico. And the other common questions are about the groceries, which I already mentioned in the last video. There are some Indian stores in Mexico City, in Querétaro, in Guadalajara. I don't know about other states, because I think the Indian population is less in other states of Mexico, so I don't think there are Indian stores. But yes, in these three main cities, they do have Indian stores, so there you won't have any problem for Indian groceries. And the other question is about the hospitals here. I also made a video about this, but let me repeat it. There are many hospitals here in Mexico, so you can choose. Most of the companies, they have a tie-up, they have insurance, and they will tell you which hospitals you have to go for checkup. Or apart from that too, there are many small clinics here near the pharmacies. When you come here, you will see that there are pharmacies here like Farmacia Guadalajara or Similares, and they have doctors in their pharmacy. Like they come during the mornings or maybe in the evenings, and they charge very minimum of 50 pesos or 100 pesos per visit. So if it is you don't have to go to a big hospital, you can go to these small clinics. And big hospitals, they also have doctors, and they charge around 500 pesos to 1000 pesos depending on the specialization that they have. And there is another government hospital which is called IMSS, and that's also very popular here. But yes, it's a little difficult to get an appointment because it's usually busy, but the hospital is very clean and very good. And here we come to the end of the video. I hope this video was useful to you, and I hope I answered some of your questions. And please leave a like if you like the video. Don't forget to do that because that helps in the YouTube algorithm and helps my channel to grow. I know you guys always support me. You give me very positive feedback, very positive comments, and that really encourages me to make more videos. But if there is a like and if you can subscribe to the channel, that would be great. That would help my channel to grow. Okay, so I hope you will like it, you will share it, and you will subscribe to my channel. So I will see you in the next one. Until then, take care. Bye.